Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sean Andrew, back with another review. This time we'll be talking about the series Work It, Season 1, Episode 2, Shake Your Moneymaker. Now, I wasn't too sure if I was going to do another review on this show because my first impressions of it was pretty low, but I do like to follow through with certain things, so I figure in this case, let me give it a second chance and see if it keeps me interested at all. And this one actually did a lot better. So let me tell you why. First off, we start off with Angel and Lee trying to get dressed. Not too much original in comedy form with them trying to put in the fake boobs and everything. Pretty standard stuff. But then we move on to them getting off the elevator, and once they're informed that they have to head to certain locations to sell the products, we run into a few problems. First, we have Angel, who's used to being a mechanic, can't really sell anything, doesn't know anything about the product. So Lee gives him a quick little prep talk, tells him how to pronounce the name, which Angel fails at, and then sends him into the office. Now Lee, as he goes into his doctor to try to sell him certain prescriptions, the doctor's bored and doesn't really seem to be interested in buying anything. Lee seems to be coming off as he's reciting some type of dialogue. He's giving out a lot of facts and information about stuff, and it is a bit of a turnoff, even just sitting there watching it, though. But surprisingly enough, Angel, on the other hand, does actually make a sale. And he and that doctor actually had a great time, ending it off with them talking about a new recipe for a daiquiri. Now, back at the bar, Lee and Angel are talking about the day. Angel nailed every single account, and Lee is a bit upset by that. Apparently, he didn't nail any accounts. They then have their friend Ryan come in, who we actually learn is Lee's brother-in-law. Just then, Angel gets a call from the doctor who gave him the daiquiri recipe, and he beats around the bush for only a moment before asking, "Angel, will you go out on a date with me?" That's going to get kind of tricky. Angel kind of forces his way through to say yes. Then they got to Lee going home. He's still super bitter about how the day turned out, and he tells his wife about how a new girl, i.e. Angel, was able to flirt her way to get the sales. And the wife agrees. She goes on making comments about, when I wanted to get this, I had to wear a red bra, and I wore this. I also wore a red bra when I wanted a raise. Well, that day she didn't wear any bra. Again, I laughed. A lot of little things were actually kind of hitting me this time around. Very funny. So from there, this then makes Lee figure, well, let me try that approach. He then goes back to the first doctor and starts to flirt. And he even tries this thing where you knock something off the side of the counter, and when he tries to pick it up, he's showing that he's wearing like red thongs. Now feeling completely embarrassed, he decides to leave. Now, this part again was not original, and the way they did it was funny to an extent. I did chuckle through some of it. Just there was an odd feeling about it. There was definitely one of those things that you have to see, you can't fully explain. But it was an interesting thing to watch at that time. Now we go actually back over to the office. Angel is being congratulated by Vanessa on a great job for sales. And Angel, again, not being able to maintain himself, Vanessa says, "Nice work." Angel says, "Well, if you insist," and then gets up and then gives her a big hug. Again, he is definitely pushing the limit. He does not seem to know what he's doing at all. That part I kind of laughed because that definitely caught me off guard. But then Vanessa goes and approaches Lee and just like, "Well, listen, you're not doing that well. You need to take advice from Angel and learn how to sell more." That is the best ironic part of it all. When that actually happens, Angel actually gets text messages from the doctor about the date. He then runs into the bathroom and asks Kelly about the situation, and she says, "Yeah, sure, go with it. Fake your way through it." But just then Lee actually pops out of the stall, and there's this kind of little rivalry ensues, and Angel has a good counter for everything Lee has to say. But there's one thing that he makes that he thinks about. And he says, "Well, I'm prettier and more fun to be with." But Lee responds is, yeah, but I'm a beast. And at first, it just seemed kind of odd when he said it. So he decides to go back again to the doctor's office for a third time and to try a different approach. He simply is polite and honest, and he promises to just give the doctor good customer service should he want to do business with them. This approach seems to work, as the doctor then asks for Lee to leave some samples. Now, on to the date between Angel and the doctor. He's definitely feeling a bit uncomfortable. He talks about how the guy keeps finding ways to touch him, and then things turn for the worse when the doctor dips his finger into some type of sauce and wants Angel to suck it off. Lee comes out of nowhere right as Angel's getting ready to suck it off and says, hey, what are you doing? Angel, you're my girlfriend. The doctor's completely in shock. A few extra words are exchanged, and the doctor leaves. That's practically the end of the episode. Well, for me, it did kind of redeem itself from the first episode. I think maybe it's one of those ones you got to kind of warm up to, because being gay, it puts you in an offsetting mood at times. I think it causes you to think about things a little bit more along the lines of wishing someone would be a bit more considerate. And this time, I figured it felt more just about the comedy more than anything else, and the lines were delivered well. Again, Rebecca Mader, extremely funny. She definitely again stole the scenes that she was in for me. And that the other lady that's working with them, I do not know her name at the moment, she's pretty funny too. She goes back at Rebecca Mader's character talking in a British accent. That had me floored as well. So in closing, I'm definitely going to watch the next episode, see how things turn out. I can't say I'm hooked yet, but it definitely deserves a review for at least the third episode. So, my name is Sean Andrew with the TV Show Review, and that has been the episode of Work It, Season 1, Episode 2, Shake Your Moneymaker. See ya.